It's late. It's about midnight. I'm in my fucking PJs. I got my fro going. And I just watched the worst response to this Filip Miucin plagiarism controversy I've ever seen. And it's from Filip. It's his response. It's him explaining himself, what happened, why it happened. And unfortunately, he doesn't do a very good job at all.
I take complete ownership over what happened with the Dead Cells review. There were a lot of circumstances surrounding it, but at the end of the day, I was the editorial lead on it, so if anything, that makes it my responsibility.
Immediately, he gets into defending himself. He goes, I take full responsibility for this, but there was a lot of circumstances around this situation, alluding to that it wasn't just his fault, that something else happened. And if it's the fact that he might have review writers for him, some kind of underlings, and maybe they did it, he doesn't explain that. He just says, hey, there was a lot of circumstances, things got a little fucked up. I take responsibility, but it's not really my fault. That's the vibe that we get with this response.
My review process isn't really that different from other reviewers that I've met while working as a professional in the games media industry. And the formula stays the same for whatever product I'm reviewing.
And he says his review process isn't much different from other reviewers. I don't know how many other reviewers plagiarize content, and that's what he's saying, then that's pretty alarming. He's kind of saying, hey, look, I just do what everyone else does. I find other reviews that people put out there from smaller channels, we steal them, we change some word around, and that's it. This time I just got caught because we were extra lazy and we didn't change the words a little too much. I mean, it's cut and dry. If you watch Boomstick Gaming's video, the side-by-side comparison of the IGN review and then his review, they're exactly similar. They change a few words here and there, but the most damning aspect of it is the fact that the points made in the review are both in chronological order. Anyone with 2 fucking brain cells in their brain can watch it and say, yeah, they definitely stole this review. And then to say, hey, I just do what everyone else does, I mean, that's crazy, dude. Why?
And the formula stays the same for whatever product I'm reviewing.
Well, that's good to know, because now we know that all of your reviews are plagiarized, if that's what you're saying.
I do as much research as I can about it, whether it's a game, a product, or an event. I try to look at all resources that I have available to me before I start formulating my own critical opinions so that I can offer the most cohesive possible review.
And that is the kicker. That's the kicker right there. He just admits here on camera that he watches other reviews before he formulates his opinion on the piece. And that is not how you review anything. The reason why people tune in for reviews is because they want that person's true and honest opinion of that product, that media, or that content. They don't want someone that says, hey, you know what, GameSpot says this game's really cool, and then so does Kotaku, so does Polygon, so I guess I think it's pretty cool. He admits it in the video. What are you doing? What research do you need to do? You just play the fucking game and you just give your opinion on it. It's not hard.
The bottom line is that what happened with the Dead Cells review was not at all intentional.
Him saying it's unintentional basically means that he didn't do it. He didn't plagiarize, when we know that's in fact the case, because plagiarism is by definition an intentional act.
I just want to apologize to everybody at IGN for all of the undeserved criticisms and doubt that may have been sparked in their credibility as a respected source for games media.
IGN definitely gets hurt the worst in this situation. It's really a shame, because IGN is already a fucking meme, and now this happens. It's really going to be hard to kind of recover from that. That's the worst part about plagiarism. It's probably the worst possible thing you can do as a journalist, especially as a gaming journalist, especially as a gaming journalist at IGN. Oh my god, this guy.
I'd also like to apologize to Motion Twin, the developers of Dead Cells.
He apologizes to Motion Twin, which is cool because Motion Twin got sucked into the middle of it all. And yes, to be honest, go get Dead Cells. If you don't have Dead Cells, download it right now. If you don't have a Switch, go out right now, go buy a Switch, and then download Dead Cells, because it's a fucking phenomenal game. In my opinion, it is probably one of the best games of last year. And now that it's on the Switch, it's even better because it's just meant for portability. But continuing, here's another big point to his response. He never apologizes to Boomstick Gaming.
As for Boomstick, I have nothing but the best wishes for him, and I hope that his wave of success lasts a long time. A lot of you watching this video might not know my story, but I also started out as a YouTuber, so I completely understand what it's like being a small YouTuber trying to make a name for yourself. I mean, Boomstick, just keep doing what you're doing, man. It looks like you have a great thing going, and I've got nothing but respect for you.
He just says that he has the best wishes for him and that he understands someone as a small YouTuber trying to make a name for himself, which is insane. That's basically saying, yeah, you know that I didn't plagiarize your shit, and you're probably just bringing this up to get a name for yourself and get clicks and get subscribers. That's fucking, oh my god, don't say that, dude. He had to watch this video as he was editing it and said, wow, this is a great point, I'm gonna leave this in the video, and then uploads it, and then as the upload bar progresses, again thinking, yeah, this is a pretty good response. No apology to Boomstick, no sorry, no hey man, I fucked up, nothing. He just says, hey man, I know what it's like to be a small YouTuber, keep doing what you're doing, it seems to work out because you fucked me and it looks like you got a bunch of subscribers from this controversy.
I was lucky enough to get noticed on IGN through my YouTube channel, which, if in case you're wondering, is in fact all of my own original work.
We don't know that, Philip. We don't know that. When you plagiarize, all of your previous work comes into contention. Every little piece of content that you put out, someone out there is searching through it right now and pairing it up with every fucking review that has ever been put out there. And that's what happens when you plagiarize. We don't know. And to be honest, in terms of reviewing, anyone who's not a dick rider, anyone who has 2 brain cells and saw this situation, they're not going to trust your reviews. And that's unfortunate for you, but that's what happens when you plagiarize, man. But the best part comes up next, right here.
So you can keep looking, Kotaku, and please let me know if you find anything. Which, by the way, their news editor, Jason Schreier, tried to imply that my FIFA 18 review was also inauthentic by claiming that I copied it from Nintendo Life, and that's just so not the case.
Oh man, so then he brings up the fact that the editor over at Kotaku, the news editor, brought up another instance of plagiarism, one in particular, a FIFA 18 review that was made by Nintendo Life. And what's interesting is that when Filip posted his response on Twitter, we have Chris Scullion, the actual reviewer over at Nintendo Life, make this post underneath it. Now, if you don't believe him in the fact that he also plagiarized the FIFA 18 review, it's pretty cut and dry if you just look at the image on the screen here. Here's the excerpts of the Nintendo Life review of FIFA 18 for Switch posted on September 29th. I mean, it's plagiarism. He stole both points. It's cut and dry. And what's more damning is that he stole them in chronological order, like with the Boomstick Gaming. It's not like he brings up one point in the beginning and then the second point later. They come right after each other in the reviews. And even more so, Chris Scullion, who has a podcast, actually goes on his podcast to talk about this situation.
And Kotaku gets a tip that not only did this guy copy this Dead Cells review for IGN, but when he was a YouTuber making his own videos, he fucking copied me. Good example of this is near the very start, when I was talking about how the Switch version of FIFA was a breath of fresh air for Nintendo fans because the last FIFA they got was FIFA 13 on the Wii U, which was basically FIFA 12. I'd consider myself a FIFA expert. I've played every FIFA game. FIFA's the game I play quite a lot. I was one of the very, very few people when I reviewed FIFA 13 on the Wii U back in the day who can immediately spot that this was FIFA 12. The FIFA 12 engine modified slightly. So at the time when I reviewed it, I wrote that FIFA 13 on the Wii U was actually FIFA 12, a modified version, and not hardly anyone else picked up on that. So that was kind of mine. That was my key point. So when I reviewed it again for Nintendo Life, that was my trademark point that I brought up again, saying the Switch version's the real deal because, let me remind you, when FIFA 13 came out on the Wii U, it was actually more like FIFA 12, for those who don't know, because I noticed it before. This prick's fucking video starts with, oh, here's it's a great thing that Switch has got a good FIFA game, because obviously the last time Nintendo fans got a FIFA game, it was FIFA 13 on the Wii U, or should I say FIFA 12. Not really explaining the way I explained it, so it just made no sense, but it was blatantly my point. And you go all the way through his video and you look at my Nintendo Life article, and it's the same. It's the same beats, it's the same points made in exactly the same order, just with the words different. So it doesn't matter if it's not word for word. He's taken my knowledge and my expertise and my analysis and selling it as his own to make himself look smart.
And then the rest of his response is basically him saying, you know, it's upsetting that people are harassing him and his family, which I agree is fucked up. I mean, it's just a really rough situation that he put himself in because he wanted to, I don't know, shave a few hours off of his day, I guess. I'm not exactly sure. I wish he would go into detail so we would understand more on how and why he plagiarized. But he basically just says, hey, it's not my fault. There was a bunch of stuff happening around at the time. I don't know. It's sorry to the IGN guys. Boomstick, I didn't plagiarize you. Keep doing what you're doing, though. It seems like you're getting a lot of subscribers. And oh, yeah, Kotaku, guess what? Go fuck yourself. That was essentially his response in a nutshell. But to be honest, anyone who saw this controversy and anyone who has 2 brain cells will never trust this guy's reviews again. And like I said, the people who got hurt the worst is IGN, the people at IGN. People who are reviewers, who do great work, who are now affected by this and the shockwave of the aftermath. Because like I said, it's not just that he's in games journalism. He's in games journalism at IGN, which just makes it 20 times worse. Lastly, to put the little cherry on top, he ended up monetizing this video, so he's definitely making a buck off of it. And I also hear he's banning negativity down in the comments of his video, which is unsurprising, but that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think his response was good? Do you think he did a good job explaining himself? Do you think he can recover from this? Do you think IGN can recover from this? Let me know down in the comments. Also, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.